Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. Ready for something outrageous? This Einstein tries to reinvent the wheel. A luxury yacht goes from $1 million to 1,000,000 pieces. A cocky cowboy tries to conquer the Bronx. And a high-flying daredevil puts his best foot forward. If it's off the wall and it's on tape, then it's all here. It's totally outrageous behavior.
And welcome to Totally Outrageous Behavior. Think you've seen it all? You won't believe what we've got in store for you tonight. We've got the most insane, the most mind-blowing videos you've ever seen. Did I mention they're outrageous? Take a look.
Harry McLean is an inventor, and he's come up with a very unusual mode of transportation. A little something he likes to call the monocycle.
I think it could be the future in transportation, you know, something a little bit different.
On the day of the monocycle's big debut, Harry proudly shows off his creation.
The machine's running good, I'm confident in it, I'm rolling on the throttle.
He veers slightly to avoid an oncoming car, but there's something he can't avoid. The curb.
I knew it was going to crash. I was out of control. There was no bringing it back.
Now Harry is spinning like a human gyroscope. And there's more bad news.
I didn't have any kind of protective gear on. I mean, I had a little helmet on.
That's not much help when you hit the pavement at high speed. Luckily, Harry's okay, and he's on the road again.
You have to go with what your heart tells you and do your dream. Oddly enough, a lot of people think it doesn't work.
Now, why would anybody think that?
Here's an elephant you'll never forget.
At an Australian petting zoo, this tourist is getting up close and personal with an elephant. He's got the little guy eating right out of his hand. But that's not enough for this animal lover. He wants to give his new friend a big smooch. But when he leans in for a hug, little Jumbo gives him the big kiss off. When this guy got a crush on an elephant, he found out the hard way that love hurts.
From me, if you're going to a wine tasting, you need to know the proper etiquette. Sniff, sip, and most importantly, spit.
Meet Vince, a world-renowned wine connoisseur with a discerning palate.
That is killer. There is almost no color in the wine. There's absolutely so much flavor.
Vince knows what he's doing, and he knows what he likes. And what he doesn't like.
That is killer.
It's killer, all right. This young lady's wishing she wore a raincoat to work.
I'm really, really sorry.
Next time Vince has sour grapes about a wine he's tasting, instead of bottling up his true feelings, he should just spit it out.
Here's a wedding that really takes the cake.
This newlywed couple is having the time of their lives. After a glorious ceremony, it's time to cut the wedding cake. And what a cake it is! 6 layers and a hidden bird sanctuary on top. 2 beautiful doves emerge from the top layer. One flies into the air, and the other decorates the cake. Determined not to let her feathered friend's foul deed ruin their day, the bride releases the dove into the crowd. Heads up! Before these 2 lovebirds cut the cake, they should have told the doves to cut the crap.
Well, wasn't that just the icing on the cake? Speaking of cake, why don't you go grab yourself a quick snack and we'll be right back with a whole lot more totally outrageous behavior.
Coming up, an off-road racer flips over his new ATV. Plus, these bathing beauties bare their bellies, then fly. And later, a hockey player really heats things up when totally outrageous behavior continues.
Hey, you're back, just in the nick of time. I've got some more totally outrageous behavior to show you. Well, nobody likes a show-off except for the ones who fall flat on their face, like this.
After pounding down a couple of brewskis, this young buck is ready to impress his friends with a ride on the mechanical bull. And Mr. Showoff milks the moment for all it's worth. He's just jumping at the chance to ride into the record books in front of a packed house. This guy is pumped. And he's ready to ride. Wow! 1.3 seconds. Pretty impressive. Next time this urban cowboy wants to show off his riding skills, he should try the merry-go-round.
You know what's worse than one show-off? Two show-offs.
It seems like a sure victory for the driver of this green Mini as he takes the final turn and heads into the home stretch. Anticipating a win, he confidently waves to his fans. Looks like he forgot his basic driver's ed rules, like keep both hands on the wheel. It's hard to keep your car in control when your ego is out of control. Believe it or not, this driver honestly thinks that if he gets out and pushes his car, he may still have a chance to win. Boy, some people just don't know when to give up. And all he can do now is duck for cover as the rest of the cars pass him by. When this show-off waved hello to his fans, he waved goodbye to victory.
Rides a four-wheeler, but he should have stuck to his big wheel. Buckle up, folks. This one's going to be a bumpy ride.
Wannabe stunt rider Brandon Smith is practicing ramp jumps at the local ATV course. He starts small, but only to prepare himself for the big one.
First jump, I actually cracked the visor on the front of my helmet. I hit it pretty hard on the handlebars.
But does Brandon learn his lesson? Apparently not.
Oh, I'll do it. No, hope not.
This time, he's determined to get it right. The jump goes smoothly until...
Whoa! Go help him, Pat.
History repeats itself. If Brandon didn't get a clue from his first ride, this ought to smack some sense into his thick head.
When I ended up on top of the handlebars, it was really just a big blur. I remember landing and hitting, but then I just remember trying to get up with it on top of me. Everything worked, so I'm okay.
Ever the optimist, Brandon doesn't see this as a failure.
No, I'm not embarrassed at all. It was fun. I mean, as long as you get it on film, it's worth it.
We couldn't agree more.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the swimsuit competition.
At this beauty pageant, tension mounts as the final contestants compete for the coveted title of Miss Barcelona. The crowd cheers as one by one the bathing beauties take their place on the bridge and show off their ample talents. But some of these ladies have gained a few pounds since the rehearsal. And suddenly, the pageant becomes a wet t-shirt contest. Good thing this wasn't the evening gown competition. These ladies learn that when it comes to the cutthroat world of beauty pageants, it's sink or swim.
And I hope that through my clumsiness, I can help to achieve world peace. Don't go away, we'll be right back with tons more totally outrageous behavior.
Up next, a hidden camera show makes an ass of this guy. Plus, saving this boat was supposed to be a snap. And later, a skydiver gets fenced in when totally outrageous behavior returns.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior. It's time for outrageous TV around the world. Fellas, pay attention now because here's a hidden camera prank which proves that undressing a woman with your eyes can end up messing with your head.
In Brazil, this sexy girl is part of a hidden camera show. She saunters down the street, and when a guy turns to check her out, he gets the scare of his life. These guys go for the angel and then get a dose of the devil. This poor guy is never going to look at another woman again. Take a tip from these TV pranksters. Be careful when you stop to admire someone's backside, or you could end up on yours.
And now, a boat owner gets that sinking feeling.
This is George Derrick's beloved yacht, the Pacific Pearl, which he recently crashed into a rock.
It's what is called an accident. They do happen. It's the first and only time it ever happened to me. This is not supposed to happen to me, but it did.
George hopes there's still a chance his baby can be repaired, so a salvage company is hired to lift the boat carefully from the water. But careful doesn't appear to be their specialty. The heavy steel cables slice through the boat, tearing it to shreds.
A lot of good that did.
It was kind of a knucklehead way of picking a boat up.
But the shipyard owner sees things a little differently.
If we got another boat that was in the same condition as that one, I would do the same exact thing.
Meanwhile, George's expensive yacht turns to scrap before his very eyes.
It was like being kicked in the gut to watch something like that.
We think it's pretty humorous around here.
So what does George think of the tow company?
I wouldn't let them change the wheel on a little red wagon.
It's doing the best we had with the kind of crap we had to work with.
A lot of good that did.
Every girl fantasizes about being rescued by a tall, dark, handsome superhero until he turns out to be a short, bald drunk with a beer gut.
Bexar County Sheriff's Deputy Steve Woods keeps Texas drivers in line, especially when they can't follow the line.
The vehicle's driving over the yellow line.
The deputy indicates to the driver that she should pull over.
When I turned on the light, she turned into a bar instead of stopping on the side of the road.
Maybe she's hoping the fumes from the bar will disguise her breath.
Okay, how much have you had to drink tonight?
I had 1 beer, sir.
Just one?
Yes, sir.
1 beer, but it was served in a really large bucket.
But you're giving me enough indicators to place you under arrest for DWI. Okay, so what I'm gonna do?
Serious?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God.
So
She's in trouble now. But wait, who's this coming to save her?
What are you doing? What are you
back up, Bubba. Back up.
Oh my God.
Back up.
It's Bubba to the rescue.
Somebody better come get this guy before I put him down.
The damsel in distress manages to wrangle her defender before he can do any more damage. And thanks to some quick reflexes, Woods is unharmed.
I caught a shadow coming on the side of me, and there shouldn't have been anybody walking behind me.
Bubba probably wouldn't do too well on the sobriety test either.
Back up.
Oh my God.
Back up.
After rescuing his lady, this knight in shining armor will be spending some time behind bars, and not the kind he normally frequents.
Attention all grown-ups, stay off the slide.
The only thing missing at this German water slide is the water. Woohoo! But this man doesn't care. He's all psyched up and ready to slide. With a quick wave to his family, he's off. He reaches a dangerous speed of nearly 2 miles an hour. When the soles of his sneakers catch on the slide surface, he wipes out. Incredibly, he's unhurt, and the brave daredevil races on. This enthusiastic slider thought he had a good idea, but it just didn't hold water.
This next video was sent to us by totally outrageous viewer Eric Matuzis, a hockey player whose new moves are so hot he has to trade in his hockey stick for a fire extinguisher.
Eric Matuzis of Edmonton, Canada spends his weekends playing hockey. But on this particular Friday night, Eric and his friends come up with a new and exciting way to play.
It was cold out and just wanted to get fire on something so we could be warmed up.
Coats might help, but these geniuses opt for some gasoline and matches. Who needs mittens when you can warm your hand with a flaming tennis ball? But this just isn't doing it for Eric. He's still a little chilly.
Hey, how about I get those old pads and we get the pads wet? I like that idea.
Soaking your knee pads in gasoline?
I'm sure that's fun.
Gee, that doesn't sound dangerous at all.
Good. Tape the fiery objects onto your legs.
We got worried every once in a while about it being a little dangerous, but we're young kids that don't really think of the consequences until they happen.
Yeah. Ready, goalie?
Nice save. Now who's gonna save him? Luckily, Eric remembers to stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll works.
Despite his reckless actions, Eric was surprisingly unhurt. And these days, his mom and dad make him stick to a safer form of hockey.
My parents were pretty surprised that I did something as stupid as this.
Hopefully, next time Eric wants to warm up with a fireball,
ready, goalie?
he'll just chill out.
Coming up next, a film about skydiving with a surprise ending on totally outrageous behavior.
Welcome back to Totally Outrageous Behavior, where we've saved the very best for last. This one's about a fearless skydiver who doesn't look back. Too bad he doesn't look where he's going either.
Professional skydiver Nathaniel Gilbert and his friends are making a short film about skydiving, and Nathaniel has a special stunt planned.
What we were trying to do is to get a nice video of a high-speed landing through a very tight area. The intention was to go down between the palm trees, in between the deck and the tent, and then go up over the fence and land on the other side.
That was the intention anyway. And then the pesky fence got in the way.
Am I right?
It all started to go wrong when I clipped the inside of the palm tree. After I corrected that, the only thing I could do was go straight into the fence.
Feet first. So was it worth it?
I am glad I attempted the stunt.
Am I right?
Every time my friends watch the video, it usually ends up with, oh!
Oh, and we're fresh out of totally outrageous behavior for tonight. But don't worry, we're cooking up a whole new batch for next time. We'll see you then. Good night.